Actually, the topic and the name Dr. Swati Gadgil has all the registrations or has already gained us so many viewers listening or so many parents eager to listen to Madam and the talk. But still, as a part of formality, also I need to introduce her. After reading her CV, I myself was extremely proud and happy to have a speaker like Swati, Dr. Swati Gadgil with us for this discussion. Beautiful souls create beauty everywhere they go. Befits our speaker for today so perfectly. She is a genuine human being, anesthesiologist and medical legal advisor by profession. She finds happiness for working for multiple social causes like anti-spitting campaign. She has donated and contributed to the building up of basins in for spitting in villages. Menstrual hygiene is another topic, gender sensitization. She finds solace in poetry, literature, music also, and has many publications, poetry publications in national and international books. She also writes column for the newspaper. She has been honored the Hall of Fame award at Ganga Hospital, Coimbatore in 2018. And today, we have her with us for another special topic, a special relationship which each one of us as a parent wants to excel in, the special bond between a parent and a child. So, for this very topic, which is close to everybody's heart, we have with us today our guest speaker, that is Dr. Swati Gadgil. Over to you, madam.
Thank you so much, Dr. Anita, Dr. Nikita. You all are doing a wonderful job. ISA NASIC, hats off to all of you. And I'm so glad that you invited me here today for this wonderful topic, which is so dear to my heart. Because that is how I am reaching out to children since 2010 and working on them on gender sensitization, basically. Trying to change young minds. But now today I'm here to train parents. I don't think I'm fully equipped to train parents, or I don't consider parenting as a job by itself. And it's nothing that it comes by training. It has to just flow within us. And one simple thing, let me start with, is all of us who are here today should close our eyes and go back into our past and try to remember what was it in our childhood that hurt us the most, and what was it that gave us some pleasant memories from our parents. So each one of us can just do that and think for a minute, what was it? And I'm sure most of you will agree that the most painful part of our childhood would be when our parents wouldn't be home, or when we were left home alone without our mom. And the best part would be when she would be around and we hug her and tag around with her everywhere, trying to talk to her. Again, the next painful part is when we were trying to talk to them and they never had time to listen to us. One very small and important trick to handle children is to give importance to every small thing that they are trying to share when they are small. And that is the only thing that will give them the confidence that they can talk to you about everything in their life, even when they grow up. And inadvertently, we all make this mistake. When our kids are in, say, mini KG, junior KG, and they have lots of stuff to tell us, they come home jumping around us, telling that somebody has done this, somebody's done that, somebody picked up my bag, threw my chocolates, done X, Y, Z, so many things. And we feel, no, that's not so important because we have other things at hand. Especially as doctors, we are all the time glued to our phones, cell phones, talking to the hospital patients or our colleagues. And these small things which they come home with from their school will not catch our attention always. And if this happens repeatedly, I'm sure when they grow up, they'll not have that confidence that they can share their stuff with their parents. So parenting. I'm sure all of you must have heard the story of Birbal, Akbar, Birbal, and Birbal's son. Once Birbal got late reaching Akbar's darbar. So Akbar asked him, why are you late? He said, it's my son. He wanted something and I couldn't satisfy him, and that's how I'm late. He said, come on, Akbar is saying that I can't believe you. You are such an intelligent person, you can't handle a child. He said, okay, I'll get my child to the court tomorrow. The child is brought to the court next day, and Akbar asks him, what do you want, my son? So he says, I want sugarcane. So naturally, the king orders for sugarcane and it comes nicely cut into small pieces so that the child can eat, and it is laid in front of him in a plate. And this child throws a tantrum. No, I don't want this. I want another one. So they get another sugarcane. So not this. I want an intact one. Okay, they get one full sugarcane. No, not this. I want you to join these pieces back into one. Now, come on, can anybody have an answer to such things that children pose us with? And this is a very, very famous story. And I always love to hear this from my dad. Every night it used to be a story time. And that is the best part of my childhood that I want to remember always. You know, almost till, you may not believe, almost till 7th, 8th standard, I used to have a story time with my dad every night, me and my brother. So that's one beautiful thing of my childhood, which I love to remember. Of course, there are sad moments, like I said, when I was left alone. So parenting, where does it begin? What do you feel? I personally feel it begins even before conception. Couples today, all of us who are highly educated, we have goals, we have some focus in life, we have hospitals to be made, and we have certain things to achieve in life. And then meanwhile, we get married. I know that the age of marriage is getting delayed compared to the earlier years now. Most of us are getting married around 28, 29, 30 these days. Gone are the days when children were getting married at 22, 23. So naturally, some maturity is there. When you reach 29, 30, of course, you understand what is life, much more than when you are at 22. But yet, becoming a parent is something so very important that every couple needs to plan their child very nicely. It should not be so that it has just happened. It should never, never be an unplanned child. Always a planned baby. And a planned baby, let me come to my gender sensitization thing, that decide how many kids you want. Again, I know all of you are most of you here today are doctors, but yet I would insist that please have 2 children. Don't stop at 1. Never should a mom say that I don't have time for a second child. It's criminal. It's criminal for the first child. Let him have some company. As such, we all are very busy. And one very far-fetched thought that after us, they need to have a blood relation, if at all they can have with them, to care for each other. And also, all the psychiatrists will also agree with me that when there are 2 children growing up together, they understand lots of things like sharing, caring, and understanding each other. So they become better human beings than raising a single child. I've seen parents who have a single child who struggle a lot to get that child around to study and to behave well and to do so many things which we expect them to do. And the first failure is when we put expectations on them. We have certain things in our mind. Just yesterday, I had one grandmom calling me that she was worried about her 5-year-old grandchild. Now, a 5-year-old grandchild who cannot concentrate on the e-classes which are happening, that was her complaint. How are we supposed to explain to this young child that, yes, you have to look into this small screen here, and there's a teacher behind that screen who's trying to tell something to you. He's not seeing other children around. He's not seeing any happiness, any playfulness around. He's just seeing some lady in the screen who's trying to. And of course, all of us realize that when we are on screen, we are not always looking so pleasant and nice that the person will understand our passion, or the compassionate feel that I have in my mind may not be transferred through the screen. It's very much different from the real actual classrooms. And a 5-year-old child not concentrating on the e-class is a complaint of the grandmom. And then comes the best part. The cherry on the cake came later, when she said this boy has a 2-year-old younger sister, just 2 years old, okay? And she tells me, and I was happy. I said, oh, because like I said, I feel that every family should have 2 kids. So I was very happy that, yes, there's a younger child also there. And then what she said is, this 2-year-old granddaughter understands everything and she can do everything much better than this 5-year-old. I said, oh my God, what are they up to? I mean, they are doing such gross injustice to both the kids, trying to praise this 2-year-old girl beyond limits, trying to have more expectations from this 5-year-old son. And then for that, they want counseling. It's fine. I'm happy that they need counseling. They realize that they need counseling for this. And the first response from my daughter was also, Mom, I don't think the kids need to be told anything. It's the parents who need some counseling. I said, yes, of course. Because the children we have to understand that they are growing in circumstances that we provide them with. You get my point? Whatever you try to tell them, you will always feel that they never listen to you. Yes, they don't listen to us. They don't listen to us, but they do imitate us. They'll never fail to imitate us. Take my word on this. And that is how children, when they are in their teens, will have lots of issues coming up. And when we handle such children in school, we have had answers from them that some misbehaviors, some sexual misbehaviors also happening in school. And when we ask them, what was this? Ghari bagitla hota. We had no answers. Me as a doctor and a counselor, the teachers of the school, none of us, I mean, we don't know what to do. We called the parents and we, of course, had a big counseling session with them. So whatever we try to tell them, they may not listen to us, but they'll surely imitate us. So we have to watch. Like I said, when we decide to become parents, there's a lot of training that we need to have for ourselves first, even before we conceive, even before the child is born, that we have to change our lifestyle. We have to watch every word that we say. We have to watch every reaction, every response of ours to every situation that is around us. And it's just that, we have to learn to give some unconditional love. The carrot and stick approach is not something that will work always. And you should never be doing that. Gifting a child for doing something nice and punishing a child for doing something wrong is the worst thing that any of the parents can do. Even if the child is making any mistakes, what should the mother or father do? Just try to understand what has happened, why this has happened. If he has committed some mistake, then why he has done it. Try to get it out from him, not on the same day, not at the very moment. Give the child some time to open up and speak and tell you why this happened. But when will this happen? That the child will open up to you only when you give him confidence, him or her, that yes, I'm going to listen to you. I'm not going to scold you or punish you. And my unconditional love will always remain with you. Being a parent is difficult. Why? It's like allowing your heart to walk around you outside your body. Isn't your child your heart always? Yes. So being a parent is, cutting that cord and getting the baby out of me and allowing that child to be moving around, and I'm all the time worried and caring for them. It's a big task. It's a big task. But for them to come around and be good friends with you and to listen to you, you need to give unconditional love. This is something that I always insist on. Do not yell, may what come. Howsoever stressed you are, parents should never be seen yelling around in the house. Never fight amongst yourselves in front of the kids. That will give worst of the memories that they can have and that they'll never forget. They may not mention it to you, but it causes gross trauma to them. The worst fear that a child can have is that his or her parents are fighting amongst themselves, that they are not getting along well. And in today's era, very young children also understand what is a divorce, what is separation, what is being a single parent, because that is what they see. We have broken families today, lots of them. Compared to the earlier years, yes. Because today we believe in having our individual choices. We believe in having the freedom of leading my life as per my choice. I do not bow down to the social pressures. I do not bow down to the cultural conditions that earlier days people used to accommodate and adjust and just be together around for the children. Today is not so. It's surely not so. And in their class, where they are studying, in the schools where they are studying, they could be having friends where the parents are separated, or there is just one parent for whatever other reason, could be some mishap, could be anything. And also there are single parents by choice today. Like we all know of Karan Johar and things, that they just make babies for themselves. So making babies in labs, making babies in test tubes, what are we coming to today? I don't understand. But anyways, the bottom line is, as long as you care for them, as long as you give them lots of love, because that's the only thing that a child will first understand. A child who is crying, a baby who's crying, who doesn't know how to talk, who doesn't know how to interact, but will just understand mother's touch. Mother holding the baby in arms will put the baby quietly to sleep. Because that's something, that the touch and the love and the compassion is understood by the child by touch. So just even when they are growing, even if you do not have long hours to sit and chat with them, please ensure that you pat them, you hold them close, and you try to transfer your love just by your touch. It's no great art. It's a very simple thing that you have to transmit it through your touch, and it will be transmitted only if you actually feel it. And to feel it, you just have to have few moments to yourself. Decide that yes, every day I need to give that kind of comfort to my child during the day and also at night. I know we all have odd working hours. There are no fixed working hours. We are home sometimes, we are not. We are not home at night as well. Many a times we are in the hospital, we are in the wars. Children do understand. Our kids do understand that we are doctors and hence we are busy. But that doesn't mean that they don't have their needs. They need that love and passion. One thing which really caught my attention today was, rather since last 2 days, that since the time that you have advertised this session, I'm not ashamed of sharing it. Let me share it. The first thing my daughter said was, she first laughed. She had a small corner face. And she said, parenting. Oh, for that, parents have to be home, mom. Do you understand that? I said, yes. And they have to be home when the kids are young. When the kids are growing, that is the time when they need parents. And were you home when I was small? Yes, I know that they would be with maids most of the time. We were young, we were running a hospital, we were all the time at the hospital. Yes, like I'm telling you, when I come back home late in the night also, I try to give that caring touch to my children. But again, that's not enough. So all of you, when you go and try to learn on Google, what is parenting, what is qualitative time and what is quantitative caring, most of them try to boast about qualitative caring. Like I told you, I just said some time back that whatever little time you have, you just have to come and transmit that caring touch to your child. So that's in short, qualitative caring, But parents today go to the other extremes. For them, the qualitative caring is that in that 1 hour that they have, they'll try to teach their children something on Google, something of Gita, something of dance, something of art, something of this, all the interactions, question answers, and try to see that they get 99 on 100 marks, or maybe 100 on 100. Today, 99 also has no value. So all parents want their children to score more than 100%. And all this is bombarded onto them in that 1 hour that they have with their children, and they call it qualitative parenting. Do you feel qualitative parenting will always be good? No, they need time. They want quantitative caring. They want a lot of time from us. And that's why I said that when we plan children, we have to ensure if we decide to have children, we have to have time for them. Simple. It's plain, simple, underlined statement that you have to have time for them. Whatever compromises you have to make in life for that. If you're two parents in the house, you can divide amongst yourself. And again, like I said, listening to them and caring for them and hearing them out is so very important. If they feel that both the parents, whenever they are home, now mom is home, after some time dad will come home, and both of them have the similar questions for me. Abhyas jhala ka? Amuk jhala ka? How was your exam? How many marks did you get? Your teacher had just called me. Oh, when is your parents meeting? Yes, of course, I have to come and attend your meeting. And all these questions and all this kind of interaction happening with the child from the mom as well as from dad. doesn't help. And to compensate this, what we do unknowingly is, on weekends when we have time, we take them out and we just spend money for them. We take them to the priciest of places. We take them to malls. We take them to great vacations, and they learn to get everything that they want. Their parents are not saying no to certain things. They want best of the mobile phones, they want best of the laptops, and they want best of the clothes to be bought. And all that is given to them so much because we can afford it. And they don't even realize what's the importance of what efforts we need to take to earn that. They just feel that because parents don't have time for us, they are compensating by giving all this. And yes, that is what is happening in most of the houses. Again, being nuclear families, grandparents are not always staying around. Even if they're staying around, like I just said yesterday, grandmom calls me that she's worried about her 5-year-old grandchild. Rather, I wanted her to understand and scold her daughter that, no, come on, he's such a young kid, just leave him alone. He will learn after some time. He will learn to go on to the e-classes after some time. Maybe even if he doesn't, it's okay. It's okay. It's not that that makes him dumb, actually. He must be having his own intelligence, which will flourish and which will grow and which will develop according to the family circumstances, what you discuss in the house, what things are being talked amongst ourselves, how we interact with each other is how the children are going to learn. So grandparents, even if they are home, sometimes are making a mistake. Again, they go to two extremes. One would be that they would always be comparing about how things were when they were young. Like these days, even the movies will show these kind of dialogues, you know. Daddy to itna cycle pe jate the, दादाजी तैर के जाते थे स्कूल, और आप लोगों को मर्सिडीज चाहिए स्कूल जाने के लिए. Yes, but the circumstances change. Why don't grandparents should understand, and they shouldn't always expect that the kids would be 7 o'clock in the sanctum sanctorum saying some prayers every evening 7 p.m. होईलच असं नाहीये. ते केलं म्हणजेच ती मुलं चांगलेत असं पण नाहीये. The rules that we had, the rules that my parents had, that their parents had, all these rules are going to change over generations. The exposure is different today. The information explosion is so much that they understand much more than what we believe that they know. Children know everything about sex. Children know everything how kids are born. Children know much more than what we would be knowing probably about sex at a very young age. Whatsoever child locks you have on your screens, they will always find out all such things. They know how to handle these things better than us. When a 2-year-old child is operating the mobile phone like a 5-year-old, like this grandmom, they want him to understand the e-classes. Now, when they are operating, we say, oh, wow, that's so nice, great. My child is so intelligent. I'm so proud of my child. A 2-year-old going on YouTube and trying to find out the nursery rhymes on his own or her own and trying to entertain himself. And the mom is so happy. Oh my God, my son is so intelligent, can open the photo gallery and look into the pictures. Oh, wow. And this child goes into 9th standard and wants a new cell phone, and you find the same child chatting with his friends or her friends. What is your reaction then? Then you want to snatch the cell phone away. Why are you chatting? Why do you need the cell phone all the time? Whose mistake was it when you encouraged these children when they did it at a very young age, at a tender age? I have seen so many parents do this, even in trains. And I have actually, let me share one instance what happened once when I was traveling on a suburban train, a local train in Mumbai. And I found one mom holding her cell phone in front of her, watching something. And with the cords, one was in her ear and the other was in her 5-year-old's ear. So both of them were together using the same cords, watching something. And similar 2-3 other parents were around me in the same compartment. And that really put me off. And I'm never scared of talking to people not known to me. So I told all these mothers, can I suggest something? So they were wondering what this lady is going to tell us. I said, please, I don't like children watching things on mobile phone for so long. And especially when you are traveling on train, let them watch something outside. Let them look at the trees. Let them look at the sky or do something else, but not on the mobile all the time. So I said, okay, now what do we do? How do we entertain them? And as always, I have lots of papers in my purse. So I just pulled out some rough papers and I made paper boats out of them. And I taught all these kids who were around me to make paper boats. And they were so happy. And each one of us was flaunting his or her paper boat. And then some kids who were in the other end of the compartment also walked up to me asking, Auntie, please, mujhe bhi sikha do. So just one paper boat could turn around that entire journey of mine, so pleasurable. And the mothers who were with those children also realized that, yes, they can find out, devise different ways to teach their children how to pass time, how to be more creative, how to be more, how to engage into different activities, and not that the only screens are the entertaining thing which people today believe. Even elders and adults today are glued to their mobile phones. Grandparents are also on WhatsApp. They are also watching YouTube videos all the time and also sharing them all the time. So when this is a story happening today, how do you expect that children are going to come around to you, explaining things, what's happening in their life, sharing what's happening in their life? Now, what schools you want to select for them? A child is born, you are trying to raise the child, you are trying to teach everything that is possible, and all the classes and coaching classes that you have, you want your child to attend most of them and excel in all of them. It's not possible. Yes, we all know one very common thing which is said, की मोगऱ्याच्या झाडाला मोगराच येतो, गुलाबाच्या झाडाला गुलाबच येणार आहे. So don't compare that my son, my child, your child, how can they not perform same? How can they not score equally well? The teacher is same, the school is same, but children are not scoring same. Why? Yes. But the other side of the story is, हो, आंब्याच्या झाडाला आंबाच येईल, पण एखादा आंबा सडका निघू शकतो if not taken care of. So we have to be very, very vigilant and just caring, giving them just enough of everything and not more. Let them understand definition of enough at a very young age. Don't just give them things over and over and over again. खूप चॉकलेट्स आणून दिले, खूप सॉफ्ट टॉयज आणून दिले, खूप तुम्ही पिकनिकला नेला, खूप मॉल्सला नेला. Everything is given in so much excess than they need actually. And we should not be doing that ever. Teach them value of money. Every child should understand that, yes, 1 rupee is valuable. Don't ever say in front of them, 1 रुपयात काय येतं आजकाल. Which is, 1 रुपया पण नाही, आता तर म्हणतात 10 रुपयाला पण किंमत नाही उरली. But never say that. Every penny is important because you need to work hard to earn it. So never ever say such things in front of your children की 1 रुपयाला काही महत्वच नाहीये. This is just one example that I'm giving to you. That such kind of things that we say and we utter makes or breaks the child. They will be observing us, they will be imitating us. Regarding the schools also, parents have been really sometimes unnecessarily going out of their way to put their children into the best of the schools, which are, even if they are far away from their house, they would be traveling on the school buses for a long time. They wake up early at 6 a.m. They are in the bus queue. This is criminal. Try to find a school which is closer to your house. They are 6 hours in the school and the remaining hours of the day they are in your house. So whose responsibility it is to take care of the child? Do you feel the schools make your children? Or the parents or the house makes the child? 6 hours of 24 hours, the child is in the school. What about the remaining hours? And something goes wrong with the child, parents are quick to go, jump and go to the teacher and say that, oh, we have put him in your school, we are paying such fees and we want you to take care of the child. Who should be taking care of the child? Teachers or parents? Are we trying to push our responsibility onto somebody else by paying money? Giving huge fees to the school doesn't make your child. You want to give them exposure to the world. You want them to learn tricks of the world. You have to spare time for them. I repeat, it's quantitative is more important than the qualitative. A mother who is illiterate, who doesn't know anything, who's never probably attended college, but has just been around her child, taking care of her child's food requirements, his sleep, giving lots of love and care, and that caring touch during the day. Mind you, she's not educated. Mind you, she's not a postgraduate lady like you and me, but she's just around. A simple lady who's around in the house, caring for her child. Do you think the child will not love this mother? Do you think this child will not come around when she needs a child? A mother who's highly educated, who's very busy, who's like you and me, all of us, we've been very busy. We have our own careers, we have our own graph. Kids not necessarily always appreciate that. They shut themselves out of our circuit. They may not come and say congratulations to you if you have achieved something great. Sometimes unknowingly, they start comparing themselves with you. That yes, maybe I'm not as good as my dad. Maybe I'm not as good as my mom. I'll try to be like that, but I may not succeed. What do I do then? I've seen children of doctors who have been saying this, that I know my dad wants me to score so much, become a doctor, run his hospital, but I'm sure I cannot do it. I don't like it. And we as parents unknowingly are forcing it on them. Do you think forcing a career on a child is good? No matter how many movies have come till now, Three Idiots, Tare Zameen Par, lots of such movies have come. We watch them over and over again. We clap, we cry watching those movies. We do all such things. We'll sit together and watch it. When it comes to our own life, would you allow your son or daughter to not finish his workbooks, notebooks, question answers which the school wants them to write? At the end of the year, if the notebook is all empty, nothing written in it, what would be your reaction? You would be sitting like this, oh my God, what will happen of my son? Nothing happens. You just have to give enough love and see that what's the acumen, where his attitude is, what is he trying to learn, what does he understand, and what is he speaking more about. Try to analyze. Nobody needs to be a counselor or a psychologist to understand a child. A mother or father from within can really understand what the child knows well, can do well, and what they are stopping the child from doing. Forcing certain things on the child is not going to make the child. So even if sometimes the notebooks are not empty, even if there are big zeros in the notebooks, and the teacher is been calling you repeatedly over and over again to the school that what's wrong with your child? Why is this child not performing? Just close your eyes and look within first. Surely we are going wrong somewhere. There is something that's missing in raising that child. There is that comfort zone which we have to give to them when they will start understanding what is important in life. Especially when there are two kids, if parents unknowingly are comparing one child with the other child, there is disaster bound to happen. This 2-year-old grandchild of this Aji who called up yesterday does things better than the 5-year-old, was told to me in a 5-minute phone call. So just imagine what must be happening in their house over 24 hours. Any small thing done nicely by the 2-year-old must be praised a lot by everybody around. As such, the younger child is always taken care of more and appreciated more. Lahane, gode. Naturally, the younger child would always be a little more cute because the elder one starts growing up. Does that mean that his share of love should be taken away? Does that mean that the attention that the first child needs has no importance? There would always be sibling rivalry coming up, and that would affect their performances. And who's giving them this sibling rivalry? We are giving it unknowingly. The younger child needing the mother's lap more, I can understand. The younger child is suckling, is with the mother most of the times, the first 2 years. We can understand. But does that mean that the mother should not hold the elder child close to her or reduce the time by more than 50%? No, which happens. Most of the times, the elder child is taken care of with the others in the family. And that will then turn things, because the elder will hate the younger one and would tend to not listen to you, not do anything that you want him to, not study, not perform in school, and misbehave in the house as well. Because then they go into the attention seeking behavior. Because they want attention. Forget love, they just want attention, and nobody's looking at them, because there's a younger child who's doing some tricks through the day. A simple laughter from a baby will catch attention of the entire family. Arey hasla, 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 baal. Yes, but the elder one is also smiling around you. Please don't forget that. So mother giving her quantitative time equally divided to both her children is so important. Secondly, having a daughter or a son. How much soever we deny, in our culture, having a son is so very important. Howsoever educated, howsoever rich families, everybody wishes secretly wishes to have a son. I have seen good people going the wrong way to get a son. Let us all stay away from these thoughts. Let us all just decide that we want 2 kids. Again, I repeat, 2 kids. 1 or 2, preferably not more, because I understand that handling 2 children is becoming so difficult that all of us keep thinking about whether I'm a good parent or no, whether I'm raising my child properly or no. So I wonder how the previous generation did it when they used to have 6 and 7 and 8 children. The elder child would take care of the youngest one then. So there would be more than one set of parents for the children. But today that's not the case. So it's 1 or 2 kids. Let it be a boy or a girl. Treat them equally well and nicely. I'm sure we all are educated. I don't need to say this, but I am saying it. So please understand my point, because I have seen families suffer like this. It's the mother's duty to stand by her daughter. It's the father's duty also to stand by his daughter. And both the parents have to be equally responsible towards these children. There should be no fights about who's going to spare time for the children. Especially, please don't fight in front of them. Kal mi ghari hote, aaj tu ghari raha. Children will say, doge bahar ja. We don't need you. And this they will say when we grow up also. म्हातारपणी पण हे ऐकायला मिळेल मग. दोघे बाहेर जा. It's not a job. It's not that काहीतरी तुमच्यावर लादलं गेलंय. It should come naturally. And when it comes naturally, it's a wonderful job. You don't need to put excess of attention, खूप जास्त फर्टिलायझर, खूप जास्त पाणी, खूप जास्त ऊन, असं सगळं झाडाला मिळालं तर सगळंच नाचतंय. नॅचरली वाढू द्यायचंय. खूप अपेक्षा पण ठेवायच्या नाहीयेत. Always, in schools, there's an essay that a child has to write. Write about your mom. माझी आई. असा निबंध असतो. If your child has written this kind of essay, please open their notebooks and read what they have written. They could have written something which they wish should happen, which we are not doing actually. There you will come to know what they wish to have. We may not be up to their standards. We may not be doing things that they want actually. The father must be scolding. The father must be fighting every day in the house. But in the essay, they would write that my father is so nice. He does this, he does that. You just go and read it and you will understand that this is what the child expects. This is what the child wants from us. And if things go to the extreme, then they go and write the truth in the essays. This had happened in Calcutta once. A 5th standard girl when asked to write about her family. Again, this comes to parenting. She had suffered a lot till she was in 5th standard only. A young girl. She wrote in the essay that her exact sentence was, "My dad is a bad man. He beats me and my mom every day. I want somebody to punish him. My mom and me cry every night before we go to bed." This was an essay written by a 5th standard girl in Calcutta in one of the schools. When this was read by her teachers, the teachers realized that there's some serious problem in her house. And that is how, through the counselor, they reached the family and they saved this girl's trauma. So, reading their books, yes, it's important, but not immediately after the exam is over, not immediately after they come home, but just give them some time. Try to go through their school bags. Try to see what they are doing. We have found condoms in 9th and 10th standard girls' school bags. That's fine. I mean, at least they are taking precaution. And that's what the parents said. When the parents were called to school, that we found condoms in your girl's bag, saying, "Oh, doesn't matter. She at least know what is right. That she's taking care of herself." That was the reaction. I leave it to every family. What they want their children to go through at what age is their individual choice. But going through children's school bags, at least up to a certain age, giving them not after a certain age, yes, because by that time they've already learned things from us. They are imitating us. We use bad words, they want to use bad words. We are into addictions, they will also get into it sometime or the other. We are into party culture all the time, they would also feel that that's the best part of the week. That yes, come together, drink together, have fun, have food, fun, frolic. But spending some good time with the family, and like I said, caring for the elders of the family, and all these small things and gestures that we do during the day, during the night, especially, they have a great impact on them. So such kind of instances, when teachers also find in school, they sometimes tell the parents and sometimes they don't, because they know that the parents do not react properly. The parents sometimes they come and scold the teachers that, "What are you doing?" So I have found teachers telling me that, "No, madam, we cannot call their parents or tell them anything because it fires back on us." So trust me, even if you have put your children in best of the schools, not necessarily you will get all the feedback from the school about your child. Because they are always cautious that educated parents will come and question them more rather than being understanding with the child and with the school. None of the schools would ever like to pass on some wrong information to the parents. But the responses that we give makes the school and the teachers hold back important things about our children. So be understanding with your children and with the teachers also. Have faith in the teachers. Have faith in the school that you put them in. Don't try to question everything that they do or tell you. Now, regarding what is being watched and what is being discussed in the house, like Nikita madam said, I'm into mission menstrual hygiene. So regarding menstruation also, girls have to understand everything well at a very young age. It's better that they understand it. There's no point in changing channels when the sanitary napkin ad is coming or the condom ads are coming, and parents unknowingly, they just switch the channel because they don't want questions coming in. Because naturally, an inquisitive child is going to ask, "What is this? Why is this used? Who uses it? When is it used?" And we don't have time to explain and tell things to them. So don't run away from these things. Sit and explain things to your children. Like Coffee with Karan show, I feel that every parent should have a Coffee with Mom, Coffee with Dad show every 15 days at least, or once a month at least. I advise every daughter, mother, every son and father, or every daughter and father, either combinations, you should have a coffee with parent session. It's easier said than done. Most of them say की हा आपण मुलांचे मित्र झाले पाहिजे. We have to be friends with them. Only then they'll tell you things. Do you think being friends with them is easy? No sooner that they are teens, they would be coming to you with the F word and swear words and all those words. Do you know that? And they will be saying shit and this and that, and then you don't like it. So commonly they use these F words. They learn it in school, they watch in serials, and they feel that's the in thing, that's the trend. And when they utter it in front of you, what's the response? Oh, come on, mind your language. That's the first thing that the parent would say, mind your language. But you want to be their friends, right? So it's okay once in a while. Take it lightly. So just let them use whatever words they are using. If they start talking to you, let them speak. Don't stop them by trying to correct some non-significant things right at the word go. Because that is how they start, especially when they're growing up. Even young children today in 4th and 5th standard also, without knowing the meaning, they will be uttering such words. And our first response is to scold them. And finish, full stop. There won't be any communication after that with you. Because they know that the moment they utter something or they say something, parents are going to not like it and scold. So how can I share things? I cannot, because my language is different. My wavelength is different. I work on different level, and my parents are working on different level. So they'll not understand. So how do we communicate with them? Do we use those words with them? Not necessarily though. Only the least we can do is to not scold them. The least we can do is sometimes put certain things behind and try to communicate further with them. As they grow up, as they want to decide their career, we need not pressurize them about what they should be doing. Guiding them well, giving them all the options is so important. And as they are, one very important thing. In our culture, children have always slept with their moms. In Western culture, there's always a crib. Since the baby is born, the baby is in the crib and they are in their different rooms, separate rooms, always, all the time. I leave it to all moms and dads who are listening to me here. I would advocate that it's nice to keep them with you in the night. Most of the part of the night, it's better. They feel comfortable. They feel loved. They feel attached. So try to be with them. Kiss them a nice good night. Let the mom snuggle into the same blanket with the child for a while at least, till the child falls asleep nicely. Don't just push them into their rooms and say good night and get out. That is the time when they want to share some things. That is the time when they want to feel cozy, and we don't do it. We have big houses. Kids have their separate bedrooms. We just put them in, wave a good night from outside and go away. Maybe a kiss sometimes. Don't forget to plant a kiss every night. Don't forget to pat the child nicely for some time, even if the child is fallen asleep. Don't try to pull the child out of the bed every morning. There would be days when the child says that मला नाही जायचंय शाळेत, कंटाळा आलाय. What should be your response? It's okay. Don't go. It's okay. Once in a while, it's absolutely fine that the child says, I don't want to go. And you allow. And that's how it should be. So little त्यांच्या कलाने घ्यायचं, थोडं आपल्या मनाने घ्यायचं. असं घेतल्याशिवाय मुलं तुमचं ऐकणार नाहीयेत. आणि 100 आउट ऑफ 100 मार्क्स ज्यांच्या मुलांना मिळतात, तीच मुलं सगळ्यात छान आहेत किंवा खूप छान पेरेंटिंग झालं आहे, असं जे मानत असतील, त्यांना मी 0 on 100 मार्क्स देते अशा पेरेंट्सना. Only performances in school and marks and the career graph doesn't make a person a good human being. You have to teach them human values. आणि बऱ्याच वेळा मुलांना जे ह्युमन व्हॅल्यूजशी धरून त्यांचं बिहेवियर असतं ना, त्याच्यावरून रागवलं जातं. रस्त्यावरचा कुत्रा घेऊन आला, कोणीतरी इंजर्ड आहे त्याच्यासाठी पोरगं धावलं तुमचं, मातीत मळून आलं, काहीतरी करून आला की त्याला ओरडा बसतो बरेच वेळा. छी 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 छी, what have you done? The child has done a good deed. The child has gone and fed someone. It's a good deed. So appreciate these things. आणि ह्युमन व्हॅल्यूज जे आहेत ते त्यांच्यामध्ये इन्स्टॉल करणं खूप जास्त गरजेचं असतं. बाय आवर बिहेवियर, I know that today every birthday is being celebrated in orphanage and all that thing. It's become an in thing sort of. Birthdays and all parties are like everybody. And the orphanages have so much that they start giving away things now. So don't overdo that. It's not necessary that we go to that extent every time. It's just that they should understand what is important and what human values are more important, and how taking care of the environment is also important, and that's how world will go nicely. Do not hurt anybody as a value that you have to teach your children. तुमच्या वागण्यामुळे कुणाच्या डोळ्यात पाणी आलं नाही पाहिजे. तुम्ही कोणाला स्माइल देऊ शकले की नाही is not important. Whether somebody smiles because of you is not important. Do not put tears in anybody's eyes. That should be the guiding behavior for us adults as well as for your children. Once this principle is understood in the family, things will be so nice. Especially घरामध्ये, मराठी घरांमध्ये बरेच वेळा, मराठी or नॉन मराठी whatever, सासू सुना ह्यांचे जे वाद आणि असतं घरामध्ये, ते असतं कितीही शिकलेले असले तरी. थोडंसं टोमणे मारणं, talking ill about each other behind their back. Children observe this. If they find parents talking ill about grandparents in any fashion, you know what to expect when you grow old. So do not talk ill about anybody. Mind your behavior, because that's the best teacher for the child. A son, when he is growing up, it's a mother's job to instill good values in him. We always talk of crime against women, but mothers have to raise their sons in such a fashion that there won't be any crime against women. So we as parents, when we are raising our children, when we are raising our daughters, yes, we are trying to tell them what is right and wrong. सातच्या आत घरात कोणालाच नाही सांगितलं जात आता. Nobody has those rules. But the bringing up should be so that the child on his or her own should be home well in time and not risk his or her life doing wrong things. Not talking about certain things in front of them is not going to keep them away from it. Aryan Khan case was over the TV for the entire month. People were talking about drugs. There are so many schools and colleges where kids are doing drugs and drinking alcohol, even in school. This is a story some 15 years ago when one of my colleagues had told me that her 10th standard son was regularly being invited for birthday parties where alcohol used to flow. 9th and 10th standard kids' birthday parties would have alcohol and drugs happening here in Mumbai. And this is a true story. And she was worried for her son. But again, like, she was very open with him, and he never did it. He did attend the parties, but he never did it. So that was one very nice thing. So we trying to keep them away is fine, but let them understand what it is. Let them know what it is. So they know what they have to keep away from. वाईट काय ते माहित असेल तर त्याच्यापासून दूर राहतील. माहितीच होऊ दिलं नाही काही, त्यांच्यासमोर बोललंच नाही याबद्दल काही, तर त्यांना कळणार नाहीये. Don't try to fool them. Don't try to keep things away from them. Let them understand everything and then know how to handle it. Because when they grow up, they are going to be all sorts of people around them. Even in school, there would be children coming from different backgrounds. Like I'm telling you that yes, we should not fight, we should not be using bad words, but there would be other children in the school who must be listening to all this every day in their house. And from them, your children are going to learn all the bad words and the swear words and the F words. And we wonder, where does this come from? It comes from the other children. But then once they know that this is not to be uttered, this is not considered decent, this is not going to take them anywhere in life, they will not do it. But scolding them is not the thing. Unconditional love, whatever they do not say that if you score so many marks, you are going to get a vehicle. Do not say that if you stand first in the class, you will get a new bike. Never do that. Never, never, ever do that. Whatever they achieve or they don't achieve, you have some simple standards of celebrating their achievements. And you have to celebrate every moment. कमी मार्क मिळाले तरी तुम्ही त्यांचं कौतुक करायचं आहे. आणि तेवढंच करायचं आहे. There has to be a balance. कमी मार्क मिळाले म्हणून रुसून बसले किंवा चिंतेत बसले असे आई वडील, अरे बापरे काय करू, आणि जरा चांगले मार्क मिळाले की गावाला पार्टी दिली. Not done. Even if they don't score well sometimes, it's okay. You just have to be understanding, caring, and ignore that topic. Don't even try to say ki it's okay, पुढच्या वेळेस चांगलं मिळेल, अमुक मिळेल. Don't try to hype it more. This is a commonest mistake that happens. कमी मार्क मिळाले तर त्याच्यावरती चर्चा होत राहते. Trying to tell them that it's okay, it's okay. Don't discuss. Let it go. Let the next day arrive. I mean, things will be different the next morning. The child, of course, realizes what they have done is right or wrong, or how they have to perform, or how they have to improve their performance. We don't have to tell them every time. Do you feel that they don't realize की त्यांना कमी मार्क मिळाले असतील तर त्यांना अजून इम्प्रूव्ह करायचं हे त्यांना समजत नाही का? कळत असतं ना, प्रयत्न पण करत असतात. We have to support them, not point it out every time. So do not make this mistake of pointing out things or being over enthusiastic about certain achievements. Just play it cool, be calm. Don't put everything on social networking also. Some achievement and being told to the entire world on social sites and everybody congratulating, that also will do the harm. So try to keep them away from social sites and let them take life as it comes. And I'm sure all of them will do their best. What is best? What performances is supposed to be very good? Is there any definition for it? There's no capping for it. Somebody can achieve and become prime minister also of the country, but the other person who doesn't make that person bad. So don't set any limits, don't have any cappings for that yes, this is what I want you. These are the basic expectations from you. Please don't do that. Let them grow as human beings. Do your best as parents. And if you have any queries, you can ask questions also. If the host is allowing people to unmute and ask questions, I would love to answer them.
Yes, madam, we are allowing. As and when I have also put up in the chat box, you can start with that and we will definitely unmute. And we will not ask anybody to miss such a chance or a very good opportunity to talk to. Yes, we have one hand raised. Pallavi, can you unmute Sujit Bhamre? Yes, Sujit.
Hello, ma'am. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
First of all, thank you so much, ma'am, for the elaborative talk. Some of the pointers were really very good. I am a parent to a 5-year-old and a 2-year-old, a son and a daughter.
Okay.
One thing that I just wanted to emphasize here, it is not a question, but I would like to take your input since it was not discussed. I think we should normalize saying sorry to the children. You know, we should normalize a parent saying sorry to the children. Many a time it doesn't happen. Parents take it to their ego. They never accept their mistakes and say sorry to the children. So it is okay to say sorry to the kids for not being available. It's okay to say sorry for not fulfilling what they wanted. Like, it's a very simple thing. Like, if I'm stepping out of the house and my kid tells me ki sandhyakali yetanna peda घेऊन या, and I forget. So it should be okay for me to say sorry to him in the evening. Ki I forgot it. I apologize. I'll try to compensate it later. I'll get you peda tomorrow. So this is something which I wanted to make a point.
Likewise, also learn to say thank you to every small thing that they do.
Yeah,
So
that definitely
every
it comes.
small a good gesture that comes from them, you can
Yeah,
just
yeah.
a simple small thank you. Like I
Thank
again
you.
say, don't overdo it also, because
Thank you comes naturally to us, ma'am.
yeah.
Thank you comes naturally to humans, but sorry la thoda sa वेळ लागतो. So that's what one point I wanted to make, that it's okay to say sorry to
Yeah.
your kids. That doesn't
Yeah.
make you any less of a human being.
Yeah.
Thank you
Because
so much.
that can, yeah. Thank you, Sujit, for bringing this important point again, because
Huh.
this should also be a family habit. Basically, each one of us should be thanking each other or saying sorry. You get a cup of tea from your wife, or you make a cup of coffee for your wife. You have to thank each other for it every morning. It's
Yeah.
not take it for granted. Don't take any person for granted. Every gesture needs to be appreciated, but just that much. Like I said, for especially for kids, don't overdo things. जास्त
Right, right.
तरी प्रॉब्लेम होतो. त्यामुळे ते तेवढंच ठेवायचं नेहमी. In your heart, you know that yes, your child is growing up well.
Right, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
At
We
this
take some more
time,
questions.
I will just say, madam, whenever my child also comes home, I always try to keep a glass of water ready.
Okay.
And today, when they are at home and I come out from outside, I get that glass of water.
Yes.
So
See how they imitate us.
yes,
So they will do what we do.
definitely.
Right. That's really nice, Nikita.
Yes. I will say here, madam, I have a 14-year-old elder daughter and then I have twins. So as you said, you should not go for two,
Yeah.
but I have 3 children and I
that's
try to
fine.
give my time to them. And that
Yeah.
was my concerns in day one.
Right.
And I think I have done to some extent justice, but still I've learned many more things from you. I will definitely start with ice cream with my elder daughter and have a talk with her. Which I
Yes.
think she will
I
miss
think
out.
I read one question just now regarding sex education, that what age it should be given. When children turn say 9 or 10, that's the time you can just start discussing in very soft words. And for girls especially, because they can menstruate at the age of 11, 12, 13, whatever. I've seen girls menstruate at 10 also. Commonly, though, it is around 12 or 13, but they can menstruate by 10. So it's better that they understand what it is. And when you are trying to give them sex education, it's so important to tell them first to respect every gender. If that comes, and good touch, bad touch, that has to come at a very younger age. When you are sending them to school in some common transports, like a van is carrying them to school or whatever, or a rickshaw, then good touch, bad touch is so important, because I have seen children sitting in each other's lap. The auto drivers pick up the child holding sometimes the wrong pattern, which the child may not understand. But if that happens repeatedly, it causes trauma. So, what are the parts of the body that nobody should be touching? Especially while going to school, the parents have to be really observing how the child is sitting in the bus or in the van or in the auto rickshaw. Never, never, ever allow your child to be sitting in anybody's lap. Don't allow them to be lifted up into anybody's arms. You have a driver, you don't allow your drivers to pick up your children in their arms and carry them wherever they want. You will never know when they are being abused. They will not even talk about it unless you tell them. So, cheeks, private parts, chest, never to be touched. Buttocks, never to be touched by anyone, not even in fun. So teach them to say no. If somebody is trying to plant a kiss, here also the child should say no, not allowed. So good touch, bad touch should come at an early age. And as they start growing up, you have to tell them that yes, you can respect each other and focus on studies. And as they are growing naturally, we know that during puberty, there is a lot of infatuation happening. There would be a lot of sexual feelings coming up. They want to masturbate also. And they would be doing things which we may not understand, realize when they are doing it. And they shouldn't overdo it, or they shouldn't take wrong steps. Being kids of doctors, normally they don't, because they do, and we talk lots of things in front of them unknowingly also. So they understand, like gynecologist children, they all know MTP and TL and everything. My children used to talk, आई कुठे गेली? MTP ला गेली. What is MTP? They don't know. MTP करायला गेली. So all such things, they listen to a lot of stuff from us. They understand quite a bit of it, but we can always be more elaborate and telling them that yes, babies can happen if you come excessively close. You can just put it in some blunt way, when they are very young. As they grow up, they have to learn everything. So, and especially in the science book also, the reproductive thing system is always shown. So if you are trying to teach them holding their books in front of you also, it's good enough. That what is a vagina, what is a uterus, what are the ovaries, how they get stimulated, at what age, and how the girl is going to menstruate. What's the importance of menstruation and ovulation? That a baby can happen. That's all we have to tell them, that yes, a baby can happen if you go excessively close to a boy and a sperm comes in. And do we need a baby at a young age? No. When should a baby come? When you grow up, when you can handle a baby. So not now. And don't get into that. And even if it happens, what can be done? Yes, we can handle it. You just have to tell. Don't get into wrong steps is what we have to be very clear about. Sexual attraction, physical attraction with somebody trying to have sex. Today, they lose virginity at a very early age. Try asking your daughters and your sons also. They do lose it very early. And that's a common trend. You will not believe, but it's a very common trend. And I personally never liked the sleepover parties, which has become a trend over last few years. Rather many years. I can say last 20 years, I'm seeing girls going for sleepover parties. No, I've learned to tell my children not to trust anybody but her mother. I mean, I personally feel that the girl should not trust anybody. घरातले तर अजिबात नाही. I might be sounding very rude and bad when I'm saying this, पण मामा, काका, आजोबा पासून सगळ्यांपासून मुलांना तुम्हाला वाचवायला पाहिजे. खूप शिकलेले आहेत, खूप पैसेवाले आहेत म्हणजे चांगले असं नाहीये. These are real stories which come to us. It was not shown in Highway movie just like that. All of us must have seen Highway movie. Rest of the families, richest of the people, you will never know your child is getting abused by whom and where. So don't try to allow your children to go and sleep over in somebody's house. Friends nahi, नातेवाईक nahi, काही गरज नाहीये. You can send them only if you are with them. I mean, go with them. जायचंच असेल राहिला तर. Take care about all these things. काही बिघडत नाही. They are not going to miss out on anything great. जे काय आहे दिवसा बसून तुमच्या समोर पार्टी झाली, बाहेर झाली, दिवसा वेळेत घरी आले, फाईन. Don't have to go and sleep in anybody else's house. That is the age you have to be very, very cautious. And that is why I speak openly about it.
Important point, madam, actually. Next question we can take from Prashant Thoke.
हॅलो हॅलो मी प्रशांत ठोकेराव सरांची मिसेस बोलते मॅडम.
ओके, येस मॅडम,
बोला.
मॅडम मला विचारायचं होतं की मला मुलगी मोठी आणि छोटा मुलगा आहे, पण खेळताना काही वेळेला त्यांच्यातच चांगली झुंपून जाते. म्हणजे कशावरून पण, तर ते तेव्हा काय करायचं हा खरंच प्रश्न पडतो की मोठा मला कोणाचं राईट आहे कोणाचं रॉंग आहे बघायचं की काय करायचं, कसं सॉर्ट आउट करायचं. तो हा म्हणतो मी इरेजर लपवलं तिचं, मग मी पण पेन्सिल लपवणार, मग मी तिची मजाकच करणार, मग ही चिडणार तो चिडणार.
नाही, वेन सी दे विल बी डुईंग दिस, असं ते करत राहतात मस्ती. मुलं मारामाऱ्या होतात मुलांच्या. 2 मुलगे असतील तर अजूनच खूप जास्त मारामाऱ्या करतील. पण त्यांना ते भांडण सोडवताना आपल्याला खूपच टॅक्टफुली करायला लागतं. कारण मी मगाशी पहिलेच म्हटलं तसं, डू नॉट येल. कारण आपण जेवढं ओरडू ना तेवढं ते पण अजून ओरडतात आणि ते व्हायलंट बिहेवियर कडे जायला लागतं सगळंच. सो यू जस्ट हॅव टू कीप देम अवे फ्रॉम इच अदर. आणि त्यांना फक्त शांत राहून दुसरं काहीतरी एक ऍक्टिव्हिटी द्यायची की ज्याच्याने ते डायव्हर्ट होतील. त्यांचं जे काही छोटंसं रबर रपवलंय किंवा बारीक सारीक खोड्या एकमेकांच्या जे करत राहतायत ना, त्याच्यापासून त्यांना डायव्हर्ट करायला काहीतरी वेगळी ऍक्टिव्हिटी द्यायची आपण तेव्हा. किंवा म्हणजे मन वळवणं जे म्हणतो ना, स्टार्ट समथिंग डिफरंट. म्हणजे एखादं भांडण होत असेल तर आपण म्हणतो ना, विषय बदला. आणायचंच नाही, तो तिकडे फुल स्टॉपच करून टाकायचा. विचारायचं पण नाही, तू काय केलंस, तू काय केलंस. जर कोणी जात आणि त्यांचं भांडण संपलंय दिसलं तर फक्त येऊन त्यांना बाजूला करायचं आणि वेगळा काहीतरी विषय काढून गप्पा मारायला सुरुवात करायची. आणि पडत असलेलं फक्त जवळ घेऊन शांत बसायचं त्यांना. कारण पडतच मग दोघांमधलं भांडण झालं की.
हो, आणि मग शेवटी हा प्रश्न येतो, मग तू त्याचीच बाजू घेते, मग माझीच घेते.
नाही, कोणाचीच बाजू नाही घ्यायची. त्यांना दोघांनाही बाजूला जवळ घेऊन एकेका मांडीत घेऊन बसायचं बाजूला आणि वेगळं काहीतरी सुरू करायचं.
ओके ओके.
वेगळा विषय काढायचा, तो विषय विचारायचं सुद्धा नाही काय झालं ते. शक्य झालं तर. कारण आपण खूप कामात असलो तर असं होतं की जे रडतंय किंवा जे धाकटं पोर आहे ते रडताना दिसलं तर मोठ्याला धपाटा पडतो. न विचारता धपाटा पडतो. मग ही चूक माझ्याच्याने ही झालीये माझी मुलं लहान असताना, की भांडणाचा आवाज आला आणि काही धाकटी रडली म्हटलं की जाऊन मोठ्याला आधी धापकन घालायचं पाठी.
हो, हो.
इतक्या जोरात आपण मारत नाही, पण सांगते. दिस बिकम्स अ नॅचरल रिस्पॉन्स फ्रॉम अस, कारण आपण खूप वेगळ्या कामात काहीतरी चिंतेत असतो, समटाईम्स काळजीत असतो आणि सडनली यांची कुरकुर भांडणं झाली की आपला रिस्पॉन्स हा असा होतो. जो चुकीचा असतो आणि ते लक्षात ठेवतात. खूप मोठे होईपर्यंत लक्षात ठेवतात मग.
हो आणि आपलं एक होतं ना, की तू मोठी तुला कळत नव्हतं का? तो लहान
एक्झॅक्ट.
म्हणजे हे मला आता तर असं वाटतं, की काय करावं? असं वाटतं म्हणजे तिलाही बिचारीला बोलून उपयोग नसतो.
नाही, नाही. काहीच बोलायचं नाही आणि त्यांची भांडणं ती त्यांच्या लेव्हलवरच ते सोडवतात. त्यांना विचारायचंच नाही काय झालं. बाजूला करायचं फक्त दोघांना बस आणि विषय बदलायचा. ते
ओके,
जरा होतील या बारीक-सारीक लढाया संपतात.
ओके, ओके. थँक यू सो मच मॅडम.
येस. आणि आपण नाही भांडायचं त्यांच्या समोर. ते खूप महत्वाचं असतं. नकळत आपले आर्ग्युमेंट्स होत असतात आणि ते मग त्यांच्या लक्षात राहतं, की हां, आई-बाबा पण भांडतात.
ओके, ओके, ओके. थँक यू.
येस.
Pallavi, we can take one by one the people who have raised hands.
भिडे मॅम.
See, I just wanted to say something. See, all working mothers, they feel the constant struggle to be the best mothers, and they want to set a good example. But there's always an inner dialogue that keeps on going. You feel guilty when you're staying at home because of the unrealized potential of what you could be doing. But when you're at work, you feel guilty you could be spending more time with your kid, So there's this balance, that inner dialogue, which keeps, haunting us to be better, and quantitative, qualitative, the balance out between that. You pointed out that quantitative is better than qualitative, but at times it is really difficult to get that time out,
I know.
how to balance those two. I mean, I'm lucky I have a kid who's 20, and I want to tell all the people who are dreading having teenage kids that it's a hype. It's not always miserable. It's actually a great time. They become into these wonderful young adults, and it's a good time. So to all the young parents, don't get scared that you're going to get teenagers soon. It's going to be all good. So that's what I want to say. But I just wanted, if you could highlight to young mothers, who are struggling with this mom guilt, because it's a tough balance. It's new to everyone being a parent. So how do you strike a balance between the quantity and quality, being at both the places?
Yes. One very nice thing that we can do today is, all of us have mobile phones, smartphones, and we have a video calling system. And if we want to go back to the olden times, it's nice to write a note to your child. Just a few days of the week, when you're very busy, it's very nice to leave certain notes for them in different places in the house.
I know. And even the whiteboard in their room, you just leave a good quote in the morning, works fabulous.
It works nicely. And that should be a surprise to them. I mean, shouldn't become a routine that, yes, my mom does this every day for me. Something new, something different happening every day. You can cook something that they like and leave it on table for them. Once in a while, just make a video call in between your cases. You can talk to them. Whenever you're free, you can just call them and call to share something very silly. It's not that you call them to ask, college la gelas ka? Keva aale? The first question, kiti vasta jeevlis ka? No, you just want to share something silly like, oh my God, I slipped just now on the step and I fell down and everybody laughed. Or I found a cat who was licking milk, or something stupid that a child would enjoy. Something that normally would catch their attention. असं काहीतरी शेअर करायला फोन करायचा किंवा असा काहीतरी व्हिडिओ करून त्यांना शेअर करायचा आहे. तुमच्या सगळ्या आपण स्मार्टफोन्स देतो त्यांना, आता त्यांना नीड झालंय, एस्पेशली लास्ट 2 years कोविडमुळे तर इट्स बिकम अ नीड. सो they make good use of it to cover a lack of time which we have, like we cannot share so much time with them. तर मग तसं करायचं to make them feel that yes, my mom is also missing me though she's at work. दे शुडंट फील की आई बाहेर गेली म्हणजे मला विसरलीये किंवा तिला माझी आठवणच राहत नाहीये की मी घरी काय करते, झोपले. आणि हे करते ह्याचेच प्रश्न सारखे नाही आले पाहिजे. अगेन आय एम रिपीटिंग. किती वाजता आली, कोणाबरोबर आली, कुठे गेली, हे प्रश्न बाहेरून नाही विचारायचे. तुम्ही घरी येऊन ते मांडीत डोकं ठेवून पोर झोपलं असेल ना, तेव्हा मग चौकशा कराया. बिकॉज दॅट टाइम तुमचा टच असतो त्या बाळाला. ते अफेक्शनचं फील असतं की मग कळतं की हा ही काळजीने विचारते. तुम्ही टेक्स्टवर क्वेश्चन टाकला किंवा फोनवर यू कॉल अँड आस्क, that it's a different. SMS does not have a tone. I always feel that important things should never be written on SMS or on WhatsApp. Certain things which have some emotional value should never be written. You speak. Because written matter will not have tone. And that can be misinterpreted by the other person as per that person's temperament at that moment. ते नवरसामध्ये कसं एक वाक्य म्हणता येतं ना, तसा गोंधळ होतो SMS मुळे. So that's how, I mean, young mothers, I know career is also important. We have some potential and we are using it, but at the same time, we are a mother. So we can compensate. And of course, take some free time once in a week, at least, yes, one day. Because we have to set a limit to ourselves also. We have to understand the definition of enough somewhere. Because otherwise, there's no end to it.
Yeah.
We can continue working 365 days without taking a break, because then we become a workaholics also. So, and it's not only for kids, but for ourselves too, it is important. Yeah.
Okay.
Though somebody might not be having any children, taking a break is important for our mental state, mental health. Yeah.
Parents are human too. Yeah. So.
Exactly. So for our mental health, we need to take care of all these things. Yeah.
Nikita, we can move on to other questions.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Yeah.
Ma'am, this is Shweta Bhide.
Yes.
Yeah. First of all, ma'am, Gadgil ma'am, it was a wonderful session.
Thank you so much.
Definitely an eye-opener, since I have a 15-year-old son and a 9-year-old daughter. And so many things which you mentioned resonated, because, we've been living with them for the last so many years. But now the concern, I think just one thing which I want to ask you is, since my son is 15, so something about the teenage, I mean, of course, we've gone through it. We know how rebellious we were at that age.
Yeah.
And 2 years have happened, and I'm still learning, I'm reading, I'm going along with things which people are saying, people like you. But any special mention over here about the teenage, how to deal with them?
Yeah. When your children are getting into teens, it's so very important to just be a mother. Just look like a mother. Don't try to be a santoor mom, especially if you have a daughter.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
knowingly, unknowingly, they don't like it. They may not speak about it, but they feel आईसारखी दिसली तर जास्त छान वाटते. It's their choice. I mean, I'm not saying you don't look nice. I'm not saying you look ugly. I'm not saying you don't take care of yourself. But overdoing certain things, or trying to compare, or twinning with your daughters, or trying to wear dresses like they are wearing, and then clicking pictures and posting on Facebook, and then people coming and appreciating you. Oh my God, तू तर बहीण वाटते हिची, आई वाटतच नाही. Please, I hate all such compliments if they come to me ever. That's not a mother should appreciate ever. I personally feel. आई ही नाही, आईसारखं दिसलं तर चूक आहे का? आईनी बहिणीसारखं का दिसावं? ते यंगेज मध्ये येणाऱ्या मुलींना नाही आवडत, नकळत नाही आवडत. त्यातून आई जर सुंदर असेल ना मुलीपेक्षा, असं होतं ना कधी कधी. सुंदर म्हणजे सौंदर्याच्या व्याख्या खूप वेगळ्या आहेत, पण टीनेज मधल्या मुलींना कॉमनली जे मुलींना हवं असतं की आपण गोरे पाहिजे, आपण असे पाहिजे, असे कॉमन आहेत. आता गेले, आता चेंज झालंय सगळं. इट इज नो फेअर अँड लवली. इट इज व्हॉट्स द ऍड गोइंग नाव? It's not fair and lovely. It's something different. They've changed the word fair. Yeah. Dark is also beauty. Yeah. So
what for a teenage son, ma'am? For a teenage son.
For a teenage son also, it is so important to just be caring, loving, and understanding, and having a coffee with him, asking him whether you have girlfriends. If you don't have, shall I find one for you? That should be. Okay. You have to tease him. Oh my God, you're 15 and you don't have a girlfriend? Come on,
Okay.
I want me to find one for you.
Okay. Okay.
चलो
Okay.
मिलके जाते हैं, ढूंढते हैं कोई लड़की.
Okay.
ऐसे just बोलो तो सही. It's not that you,
Okay.
but ये बोलने से ना उनको अच्छा लगता है. They'll just smile. Oh, my mom is too like cool. So cool mom होना जरूरी होता है. And
Okay.
so like I said, at that age, they would all be masturbating, they would be doing things, they would be wanting to do things, they would be kissing girls. You don't know what they have done.
Yeah.
I think if
True.
you expect them to come and tell you things, if you expect them to respect girls outside, the situation in your house also should be same. That
True.
your husband should be respecting you. आपल्याकडे
Absolutely.
आपण डॉक्टर्स असलो तरी सगळेच डॉक्टर नवरे काम करतात असं नाहीये. त्याच्यामुळे घरामध्ये बायकांनाच काम करायला लागणं हे असं जर का सिच्युएशन असेल तर ते पण चुकीचं होतं.
True.
So
Very
I'm
true.
giving
Very
all examples. I'm just giving all examples. Like
Yeah.
ट्रेडिशनल हाऊसेस मध्ये जसं ट्रेनिंग आता ते नवऱ्याला जसं आई वडिलांनी शिकवलं असेल, त्याच्या आई वडिलांनी शिकवलं ते हळूहळू बदलतं, एकदम नाही बदलत. But then if we want our son to change, want to be a nice human being, while you're teasing him over a girlfriend, at the same time you have to teach him that how he has to take care of every other person outside,
True.
maybe a girl or a boy. So having that human sentiment is so important in every child. Taking
True.
care of a cat which is injured on the road is also so important. So तुझ्या मांजरीचं कुत्र्याचं सुद्धा इंजुरी नाही सहन करू शकणार तर तो ह्युमन बिंगला नाही इंज्युअर करणार, कधी हर्ट नाही करणार.
True. True. Absolutely.
सो एवढंच आपण एक्सप्लोर केला तर पुष्कळ असतं मुलांसाठी. आणि करिअर बद्दल खूप चर्चा आपण स्वतःहून नाही करायची. ते त्यांना समजत असतं काय करायचंय. दे आर थिंकिंग ओव्हर इट. दे कम टू यू अँड डिस्कस. आणि त्यांच्या परफॉर्मन्स मधून आपल्याला कळत राहतं. बिकॉज टीनेज मध्ये येताना ते पण खूप महत्वाचं असतं. बिकॉज दॅट इज द इट्स सो अनफॉर्च्युनेट. आय ऑलवेज टॉक टू किड्स की किती देवाने अन्याय केलेला आहे की 14-15 प्युबर्टीच्या एज मध्येच करिअर पण डिसाइड होतं. 10th स्टँडर्ड, 12th स्टँडर्ड अँड ऑल एंट्रन्स एक्झाम्स कमिंग ॲट द सेम टाइम when they are interested in going with girls and boys outside. अभ्यास करू बरोबर फिरू. त्याचा बॅलन्स कशी करायचा हे त्यांना सांगावं लागतं.
True. Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am, for a lovely session. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Shweta.
Yeah.
Good evening.
Dr. Vivek?
Yes, ma'am. Good evening. It was really a very informative session. I just want to ask you one thing.
ऐकू येत नाहीये, खूप फेंट ऐकू येते.
Vivek, loudly please.
It was a very informative session. I just want to ask you one thing. If the both parents are doctors, so do you feel that a particular role should be assigned to a father and a mother? I mean, both are equally busy and they have to, really work hard on distributing the time for kids. So do you think a particular role should be assigned to a father and to a mother, and how should they work on, the time division and everything about the kids?
Okay. Yeah, it's
all, like there's a daughter and a father has to deal with certain aspects of a daughter and mother has to deal with certain aspects of a son. So how that should be taken care of when both are equally busy? I mean,
yeah, gender equality is the first basic thing is you should never think about who's doing what for whom. Mother doing things for son and father doing things for daughter. It should, especially for us as doctors, it comes very easily because we don't have those inhibitions about talking of certain things. So it becomes easy. Dividing roles, it's always welcome. Yes, if you can decide that me he baghin tu te aspects bag, but just remember one thing, that draw a line that do not scold. Both of you should not scold over the same thing to the child. It so happens की आई काहीतरी सांभाळत असताना मिस्टेक झाली and then the dad comes and scolds की this was your job and you have gone wrong and see what has happened. The child has to feel assured that yes, my parents are doing their best for me, that they are giving the best that they can to me, and of course I am also responding accordingly, but mistakes can happen and they have to feel assured about very important thing, that my parents are going to hold me close to their chest whatever happens. The minute they get a feeling that if I make a mistake, I'm going to get a scolding from both of them and I would be left out, like sort of, they are not going to come to you or they are not going to behave well later. असं अनेकदा होतं की आईच्यानी काहीतरी झालं आहे किंवा मुलांनी काहीतरी मिस्टेक केलं आहे आणि ते वडिलांची रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी होती आणि आई ओरडली आहे किंवा दोघेही ओरडतायत, तर त्यांना असं समोर डोर बंद झाल्यासारखं फील येतं. Like they feel that all doors are closed on them.
About the same topic, because what I feel that child sometimes can take disadvantage of the thing of the parents' difference of opinions. So how to bridge that?
डिसएडव्हान्टेज नाही घेणार ते, पण त्यांना हे फील येतं अजिबात कामा नाहीये की मला
Supportive of something which they want and mother is not. So they definitely tend to approach father for the same thing because they know that mother is definitely not going to approve of the same.
नो दॅट मिस्टेक यू शुड नॉट कमिट. की जे आईने नाही म्हटलंय ते वडिलांनी पण आईची बाजू घेऊन त्याच स्टँडवर राहायचंय आणि गप्प राहायचंय, त्याच्यावर कॉमेंट पण नाही करायचं. यू हॅव डिवायडेड रोल. लेट मदर हँडल व्हॉट शी इज डुईंग अँड फादर शुड हँडल व्हॉट ही इज डुईंग. त्याच्यामध्ये आपसामध्ये क्लॅशेस किंवा त्यांना असं वाटलंच नाही पाहिजे की आईने दिलं नाहीये तर वडील देणार आहेत.
Ma'am, I think there should be a different session how parents should meet their expectations. I mean,
How parents should
meet their expectations towards each other, because sometimes it so happens that a mother has different expectation in a particular category from a child and father has different. So
मी म्हटलं एक्सपेक्टेशन्स हवेच कशाला आहेत.
whatever, I mean, not talking about
एक्सपेक्टेशन्स हा प्रकारच नकोय ना. ते त्यांचे छोटे ह्युमन बिंग्स आहेत, ते मोठे झाले की मोठे ह्युमन बिंग्स होणार आहेत. दे आर ग्रोईंग वॉचिंग यू. तुम्ही त्यांना शाळेत पण घातले, त्यांना बुक्स पण दिले आहेत वाचायला. तुम्ही घरामध्ये काय आजूबाजूला घडते त्यातून ते शिकतायत जीवनाच्या शाळेतून. आपण त्यांच्याकडनं अपेक्षा करायला ते काय प्रॉडक्ट नाहीये आपलं. त्यांना वाढू दे त्यांचे अपेक्षा नाहीयेत काही. त्यांनी जर विचारलं व्हॉट डू यू एक्सपेक्ट फ्रॉम मी, नथिंग. आय वॉन्ट यू टू बी अ नाईस ह्युमन बिंग इफ यू कॅन. ते पण इफ यू कॅन म्हणा. दॅट्स ऑल. मोठं झाल्यावर काय व्हायचंय, लहानपणी जो निबंध असतो ना, मोठं होऊन काय होणार आहे, एक छान ह्युमन बिंग होणार आहे बस.
This is exactly what I said about madam, a genuine human being. I just loved the CV. I didn't even know madam. Anita madam introduced me the name, and I'm sorry I couldn't hear your first lecture on our ISA platform, but I was extremely happy. And after this talk, I'm really very, very thankful and grateful to you, madam. I think what Vivek wants to say is we can have a spouse counseling after parent counseling.
येस आपण करूया. बट एक्सपेक्टेशन्स आहेत मुलांकडून असं त्यांना फीलच नाही येऊ द्यायचं, कसलंच नाही. ते त्यांचे छान वाढतात. त्यांना जे येत असताना ते आपोआप खुलत येतच. यू कांट कीप इट.
आणि एव्हरीबडी हिअर थिंग्स आम्ही आंबाच आहोत, त्याच्यामुळे ऍज यू सेड आंब्याला आंबाच येणार आहे, पण ते जे खताचा पॉइंट सांगितलं दॅट इज राईट. सो दॅट
एखादा खराब निघू शकतो, तो खराब निघणार नाही एवढीच काळजी घ्या. आंब्याला पेरू येणार नाहीये, पेरूला आंबा येणार नाहीये, पण जे फळ येते ते छान वाढेल इतकंच बघायचंय ना.
Now we can take that question from Sujata madam.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. Really very interesting session going on, Swati ma'am. I just wanted to ask, being a working mother, how to deal with the tantrums of food or eating habits of the kids. I'm having a 5-year-old child and my elder son is 9-year-old. And I used to grind in mixture, whatever means the.
Okay. हॅलो, म्यूट झालात मॅडम, ऐकू नाही येते.
सुजाता मॅडम ऐकू येत नाहीये. ठीक आहे, दुसरा प्रश्न घेऊयात. कदाचित कनेक्शन मध्ये काहीतरी प्रॉब्लेम असेल.
मॅम त्या आहे तिकडे.
हॅलो, हा मॅडम, येते ऐकू?
हा, आता ऐकू येतंय, बोला.
हा मॅडम, मला हे म्हणायचं होतं की being a working mother, how to handle the tantrums of food or eating habits of the kids. Many a times we have to rush for the call and something like that. We grind something and we give in the initial phase. That habit continues with the kid. So how to deal with that?
ग्राइंड करून देणं हे तर 1-1.5 वर्षाच्या आधीपर्यंतच असतं. त्याच्यानंतर तर तुम्ही जे नॉर्मल फूड करता घरामध्ये सगळ्यांसाठी ते मुलं खातात. आणि त्यांना एक तरी चीटिंग डे द्यायचा असतो. आपला कितीही नियम असले की आणि साधारण ना बेसिकली काही दिवसात कळून जातं की मुलांना काय आवडतंय. काही मुलांना उसळी आवडतात, काही मुलांना भाज्या आवडतात, काही मुलांना वरण भात खिचडी असे प्रकार जास्त आवडतात. सो जस्ट त्यांचं लाइकिंग कशाकडे आहे खाण्यातले पदार्थ ते थोडंसं नोटीस करायचं. त्याप्रमाणे करून ठेवलं असेल तर ते खाणार आहेत. आणि थोडंसं त्यांना नूडल्स म्हणा किंवा बाकीचं बाहेरचा पिझ्झा आहे, नॉनव्हेज खाणार असतील तर व्हॉट एव्हर चिकन डिशेस त्यांना हवे असतील ते बाहेरून मागवतात किंवा घरी करून मागतात. जेवढं जमेल करून द्यायचंय. पण खूप इन्सिस्ट करायचं नाहीये. आणि फार घरामध्ये तुम्ही बटर आणि चीज आणि जसं जंक फूड असतं ना, त्याचा खूप स्टॉक ठेवायचाच नाही घरामध्ये जनरली. आणि ते पुन्हा आपण जे खातोय त्याला ऑब्झर्व करून खात असतात. थोडंसं ऐकणार नाहीये की मी अगदी खूप हेल्दी खाल्लं म्हणून माय चिल्ड्रन आर गोइंग टू ईट हेल्दी ऑल द टाइम विल नॉट हॅपन. बट दे विल रिअलाइज सून दॅट येस बिकॉज दॅट अफेक्ट्स देअर परफॉर्मन्स इन एव्हरी फील्ड. म्हणजे फिजिकल ग्रोथ असेल, एज्युकेशन असेल, कारण HB चांगलं असायला पाहिजे. बिंग डॉक्टर्स आपण एक्सप्लेन पण करू शकतो त्यांना की. आणि दिस इज अ कॉमन थिंग. आय डोंट नो मेनी ऑफ अस ऑल्सो मिस आउट समटाइम्स की HB जर 10 असेल किंवा कमी असेल मुलांचा तर दे फील स्लीपी आणि त्यांचा अभ्यास होत नाही. त्यांना कॉन्सन्ट्रेट करता येत नाही अभ्यासात. त्यामुळे हिमोग्लोबिन चांगलं आहे की नाही हे आपण पण सगळे आपल्या मुलांचं बघायला पाहिजे. लोकांचं आपण हेल्थ बघताना आपल्या घरचं इग्नोर झालं असं होता कामा नये. बऱ्याच वेळा मुलींचं तर नाहीच बघितलं जातं. एस्पेशली वेन दे स्टार्ट मेन्स्ट्रुएटिंग अँड ऑल. इट्स सो व्हेरी मॅन्डेटरी टू चेक द हिमोग्लोबिन वन्स इन अ व्हाईल. सो चेक दॅट. अँड फूड हॅबिट्स, जंक फूड खाणार आहेत मुलं हे प्लीज एक्सेप्ट करा. त्यांना प्रत्येक वेळेस त्याच्यावरून ओरडू नका. एकच करा की 2 वेळा ब्रश करायला लावा. म्हणजे रात्रीचा ब्रश केल्याशिवाय झोपू नका इतकंच त्यांना कंपल्सरी करा. आणि आपण स्वतःही त्यांच्या समोर करायचा नक्की झोपायच्या आधी. म्हणजे मग ते बघून बघून तरी शिकतात की हा आई बाबा पण रोज करतात रात्री ब्रश, मी पण ब्रश करून झोपणार. त्याच्यानंतर मग काही खायचं नाहीये, चॉकलेट वगैरे जे काय असेल ते. सो खायचं खाऊ देते ना. आणि किती खाणार आहेत. थोडंसं फिजिकल ऍक्टिव्हिटी आणि इटिंग आणि लर्निंग ह्या सगळ्याचा एक बॅलन्स आपण अचीव्ह करू शकलो तर करायचा. थोडं तुम्ही केलेलं ते खातील, कधी टाकून देतील, कधी भांडतील तुमच्याशी त्याच्यावरून. इट्स ओके. बट ग्रॅज्युअली आपल्याला त्यांच्या सवयी आणि आवडी कळायला लागतात. त्याप्रमाणे थोडंसं करायचं. कधी कधी त्यांना आवडणारी गोष्ट जी तुम्हाला नाही आवडत किंवा तुम्हाला नाही पटत ती मुद्दाम त्यांच्यासाठी करून ठेवा घरात निघताना. लेट देम फील हॅपी. ओह वाव, आईने नूडल्स करून ठेवले, आईने अमुक पिझ्झा करून ठेवला, सो नाईस. सो दे जस्ट लव्ह यू. नेक्स्ट डे तुम्ही मग त्यांना द्या मटकीची उसळ, खातील गुपचूप. किंवा त्यालाच थोडंसं इंटरेस्टिंग करून दिलं तर त्याच्या चाट सारखं बनवून दिलं तर तुम्ही कुरमुरे भेळ त्याच्यामध्ये थोड्या स्प्राउट्स टाका. असं मिक्स अँड मॅच काहीतरी करून दिलं ना तर खातात मुलं. खूप सारखं त्याच्यावरच फोकस ठेवला तर त्यांचा बाकीच्या गोष्टींवरून फोकस निघून जातो. मग की सारखं एकच एक रागवतात, नाही ऐकणार आहेत. फार काळजी नाही करायची. मुलं आपोआप आपल्या घरामध्ये जे सगळं बनतं ते खायला शिकतात. प्रत्येकाच्या बॉडीची रिक्वायरमेंट पण वेगळी असते. कोणाला गोड खूप आवडतं, कोणाला गोड जास्त लागतं, ते तेवढं पचवू पण शकतात. खाऊ द्यायचं. किती कंट्रोल करणार सारखं. अनलेस आपल्यासारखे मोठे झाल्यानंतर जे मॅच्युरिटी ऑनसेट गोष्टी सुरू होतात तेव्हा ठीक आहे. मग ते नका ऐकू एकमेकांचं घरात. आणि खूप सारखं तुम्ही जर त्यांना सांगितलं रिगार्डिंग फिजिकल ऍक्टिव्हिटी ऑल्सो हॅव सीन पेरेंट्स हू ट्राय टू वेकअप देअर किड्स ॲट 5 and 6 अँड चल जॉगिंगला चल, रनिंगला चल, सायकलिंगला चल. ते अजून चिडतात. मला झोपायची वेळ आहे, मला तू कुठे पांघरुणातनं बाहेर काढतो. नाही प्रत्येक मुलाला आवडत. खूप चिडतात आई बाबांवरती. मग ठीक आहे, तुम्ही सांगा त्यांना की दिस इज नाईस. पण नाही जमत असेल तर नाही करू दे ना. प्रत्येक मुलाने धावलंच पाहिजे असं आहे का? जस्ट एव्हरी पर्सन इज डिफरंट. ही एक गोष्ट तर एक्सेप्ट करावीच लागते ना आपल्याला. किंवा प्रत्येकाने रोज घड्याळाच्या काट्यावर तितके वाजता तेच केलं पाहिजे तर आपण मशीन नाही का होणार. आपण ह्युमन बिईंग्स आहोत ना. थोडंसं मी कधी 12च्या ऐवजी 2 वाजता जेवली किंवा मी दुपारी 4च्या ऐवजी 6 वाजता चहा केला घरात. चालतं ना. खूप घड्याळाच्या काट्यावर मुलांना पण पळवू नका. आय नो दॅट स्कूल टायमिंग्स अँड ऑल वी हॅव टू फॉलो. तिथे तर पळतातच मुलं, आपोआपच जातात शाळेत. रिगार्डिंग अदर थिंग्स जस्ट थोडंसं लीवे द्यायचा. थिंग्स विल बी सो मच बेटर फॉर ऑल ऑफ अस. अँड लाफिंग टुगेदर इज व्हेरी इम्पॉर्टंट. सो काहीतरी जोक करून दिवसभरात येऊन हसणं खूप इसेन्शियल असतं घरात. खिडक्या दारं उघडं टाकणं, गुड व्हेंटिलेशन, नॉट ऑल द टाइम इन एअर कंडिशन रूम्स. ऑफकोर्स डास वगैरे असतील तर काळजी घ्यायची. आपल्याकडे सगळीकडे मॉस्किटोजचा मेनेस आहे. But try and go into fresh air and laugh it out every day. Laughter is one very good therapy for everything and for everyone in the family. So keep laughing.
Yes.
Yeah.
All the queries have been
खूपच छान
answered.
मंत्र दिलाय मॅडमनी, कीप लाफिंग.
हो. आणि स्वतःवर हसणं आलं पाहिजे. जे आई
अगदी,
वडील
अगदी.
स्वतःवर पण हसतात ना, अरे मी काय केलं बघ करून स्वतःच हसले की मुलांना पण अजून मजा येते. ते ओव्हरऑल वातावरण घरातलं हसरं राहतं बेसिकली.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sujit has a question.
हा सुजित.
Yes, he's written something nice. I did. He's saying it's not a rocket science. Rocket science nice apparently.
Ma'am, basically what happens, what I wanted to make a point is, it is a very simple thing. To each parent and to each family, it is an individual task.
Correct.
We cannot go outside, बाहेर बघून काही शिकून, you cannot
No
implement
recipe, no
things.
rules, right?
Yes,
No rules,
you
no
have
recipe.
you
Correct.
have to create the recipe at your home within
Correct.
those four walls with your people. And one thing I would like to say from my experience, having grandparents is it's really important and it's very helpful.
Yeah.
If you have grandparents at the house and if you can use them to
Yeah.
your benefit, they are the
Right.
best buffers that can,
Oh.
between your stressful life and between the kids, they are the best buffers. Sometimes they act as catalysts. They give you the
Right.
adequate values that are needed for the kids. Having grandparents around is a blessing, and we should, allow our
Definitely.
kids to have them.
Definitely.
Okay.
फक्त ग्रँडपेरेंट्सनी पण थोडंसं त्यांच्या जनरेशनच्या गोष्टी
Yeah.
सोडून नव्या जनरेशनचं
Yes,
ऍक्सेप्ट
yes.
केलं पाहिजे तर ते इझी होईल.
Yeah. We should have a little pro kind of WhatsApp
थोडंसं
grandparents.
प्रो पाहिजे आजी
Yeah.
आजोबा. येस.
I'm lucky to have them.
सो नाईस. गॉड ब्लेस यू.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
त्यामुळे
Ma'am,
इट्स पेरेंटिंगचे रूल्स नाहीये, हेच महत्वाचं आहे. रूल. सो
if I can make a point here, something that I had read many years back, the kids who are very close to their mother and who have been brought up very nicely, आणि ज्यांचं मम्मी बरोबर चांगलं जमतं किंवा those who can connect with the mother grow up to be very emotionally stable human beings.
येस.
They grow up to become very emotionally stable. कुठलाही इमोशनल आघात झाला तर they can handle it. Whatever later on in the life, whatever emotional turbulences they come in their life, they can manage. And the kids who are extremely attached with the fathers, who have a good equation with the father, they grow up to become very practical and financially sound and sane individuals. They can take decisions, they can take bold decisions when it comes to business, when it comes to choosing careers, when it comes to finances. हा खूप वेग टर्म आहे. I had read about it some 4 to 5 years back before even I had a kid.
To a certain extent, it's correct. It's true.
Yeah.
फक्त
I vaguely remember it.
EQ आणि IQ दोन्हीचा बॅलन्स अचीव सगळं तर इट्स व्हेरी नाईस.
Yeah, that's why I had asked the question of role of a parent. So both the parents have an equally important role in developing EQ and IQ of the child.
And most important, त्यामुळे IQ तर असतोच ज्याचा वी आर बॉर्न विथ IQ. EQ डेव्हलप करावा लागतो.
And mothers play a huge role in that.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Any other question in the chat box? No, I think.
आणि
Everybody is very thankful.
व्हेरी इम्पॉर्टंट पॉइंट लेट मी टेल यू की त्यांचं चांगलं आणि वाईट दोन्ही तुम्ही खूप बाहेरच्यांना सांगायची गरज नाहीये. वाईट तर सांगू नका. काही चुका मुलांच्यानी झाल्या असतील तर डेफिनेटली यू आर नॉट टॉकिंग अबाउट इट टू एनीबडी, नॉट इवन दी ग्रँड पेरेंट्स. त्यांना सुद्धा जर घरात केलं नसेल आजी आजोबांना तर प्लीज जाऊन सांगू नका. डोंट डिस्कस अबाउट इट. जस्ट कीप क्वाइट अँड इट विल ऑटोमॅटिकली गेट सॉर्टेड आउट. आणि मी आधी पण एकदा बोलले मला वाटतं मगाशी की खूप चांगलं केलं असेल त्यांनी तरी त्याचं खूप टॉमटॉमिंग करू नका एका लिमिटच्या पुढे. सगळीकडे तुमचे रिस्पॉन्सेस थोडे गार्डेड ठेवायचे म्हणजे मग ते EQ बॅलन्स होतो छान नंतर.
हे फार महत्वाचं आहे की चांगलं म्हणजे समजा पहिला आलं, जास्त मार्क पडले, त्याचं सुद्धा खूप जास्त अति कौतुक करू नका. कारण तसं
अजिबात नाही.
होतं. तसं होताना दिसतं आपल्याला, कारण आता सोशल मीडिया
करेक्ट
सगळ्यांनाच
करेक्ट.
सगळीकडे सवय आहे पोस्ट करायची.
काही गरज नसते टाकायची सोशल मीडियावर. काही टाकू नका अचिव्हमेंट्स त्यांच्या लहानपणी, काही गरज नाही. मग मोठं झाल्यावर त्यांचं त्यांना कळतं, कारण स्काय इज द लिमिट. तुमचे अचिव्हमेंट्स आणि हे तुम्हाला मिळवायचं असेल आयुष्यात, स्काय इज द लिमिट. किती केलं तुम्ही तरी ते काही नाहीये जगाच्या पुढे. वी आर अ स्मॉल डॉट इन द ओशन, हे त्यांना नीट लक्षात आलं पाहिजे. त्याबद्दल खूप वाटून घेता कामा नये.
Suhas second child. Is second child compulsory?
मला वाटतं माझं कायम उत्तर येस आहे. बिकॉज 2 मुलं असले की खरंच ते नीट वाढू शकतात, भांडतील एकमेकांशी, पण त्यांना एकमेक राहतं काहीतरी. म्हणजे आय ऑलवेज फील की आफ्टर मी दोघे जण एकमेकांना राहतील, कारण आपलं ब्लड रिलेशन. आय नो दॅट फ्रेंड्स ऑल्सो कॅन प्ले अ गुड रोल इन युअर लाईफ. तुमचं सख्खा बहीण भाऊ नाहीये म्हणून असं काही नसतं. फ्रेंड्स असतात, पीपल कॅन टेक केअर ऑफ इच अदर. बट हॅव्हिंग अ सिबलिंग इज व्हेरी इम्पॉर्टंट, कारण ग्रोईंग एज मध्ये इक्यू डेव्हलप व्हायला आणि छान स्वभाव व्हायला ते खूप आवश्यक आहे. एकटा चाइल्ड जे वाढतं त्याच्यामध्ये पेरेंट्सना पण तो एकच फोकस होतो. सारखं मग त्यालाच कसं मी चापून चोपून नीट करते असं होतं ते. स्वतःच नाही करायचं.
दोन्ही पेरेंट्सच्या सगळ्या इच्छा आणि
मग तुमचं भांडणं सोडवण्यात थोडा वेळ जातो. नाहीतर एकालाच तुम्ही चापून चोपून तयार करण्यात वेळ घालवत असता आणि त्या एकाला वेडं करून सोडता. मग नको ते.
Actually, madam, there is one more question की सिंगल चाइल्ड आहे बट नाव द मदर्स एज इज ऑलमोस्ट 40, तर काय करायचं?
You can adopt.
Exactly, you can adopt. You can adopt. It's a good answer.
You can adopt.
You can adopt one, yeah. And if not, मग तुमचं अपब्रिंगिंग मध्ये थोडं मॉडिफिकेशन, लाईक तुम्ही त्यांना कुठे घेऊन जाताय, काय करायला लावताय, असं त्यांचा टाइम शेअर करता इतरांबरोबर, असं करून पण होईल. एकटं राहू द्यायचं नाही. एकटे एकलकोंडी जी मुलं होतात ना, दे विल नॉट ग्रो वेल in their mind, in their education. Everything could turn out to be troublesome later on. They get locked in sometimes. Introvert होतात काही वेळेस.
They move to the books also, पण मग to the
किंवा
books
काही वेळेस उलट पण होतात. एवढे टँट्रम्स होतात की मी एकटाय, मला जे पाहिजे ते मिळतच आहे, सगळं माझंच आहे. सो असा पण ऍटिट्यूड होतो. नाही तर मग इंट्रोवर्ट होतात आणि दे गेट लॉक्ड इन. दे कॅनॉट शेअर देअर लाईफ विथ एनीवन.
Correct. Many questions have been answered and with wonderful suggestions from madam to whatever. I think there is no other question. Everybody is thankful to you. So us
Thank you so
also.
much. Thank you so much, Dr. Nikita, Dr. Anita, Sujit, everybody who's been around for all this while. Thank you so much.
Everybody is around, madam. Actually, we have on Facebook Live.
I know.
Everybody is actually wanting to know more, but all good things have to come to an end. So,
Yeah. Thank you.
With this, I will just formally thank everybody who has attended this session. Thanks for the response, and I'm actually sure that each of our queries answered to some extent. We had our own answers, and now we have got a green flag from madam. Yes, this is where I was wrong. This is where I am right. So we have got that message also. And describing madam, I will just make a small remark which I had read. Elegance is not something to be standing out. Elegance is not standing out, but being remembered. And with this talk, madam, from you and the topic which you had and the work you are doing, you will definitely be remembered each day, every moment. When we are starting from this moment, like kissing a small good night, a small touch giving to the child before they sleep, asking them to brush by brushing ourselves also. Simple every gestures will definitely remind of you. Thank you very much from the bottom of our heart on behalf of whole ISN Nasik and others who have joined as mothers. Just putting up your flyer as status I got so many questions. Where is it? What is the venue? I said, no, it is a virtual platform. And after asking and talking to Anita madam also, we have opened it to every platform. Even non-doctors, non-medicos are attending this session.
Yeah.
And
Thank
everybody
you
is
so much
satisfied.
for all your efforts.
Yes,
I'm
thank-
really so glad. It was a wonderful time with all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Anita madam, also for suggesting the speaker and the topic. Thank you very much. Everyone is thanking both of you. Thank you, everyone who has attended this and had inputs, particularly Sujit. Very good input. Sujit is a really good father and a friend and a Marathi mulga for our platform who contributes this way or that way. And he himself is a COVID warrior, de-stressing every other point. Many of us are doing it, but putting up the things. So thank you so much. And I think, madam, we can end the session also with this.
Thank you.
everybody
Bye.
for your
Good night,
time.
all of you.
Thank you,
Good
madam.
night, and thank you very much, Swati madam. Thank you. It
Thank
was
you, Dr. Anita.
pleasure,
Thank you.
as always, listening to you.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night. Good night. Thank you, Nikita.
Thank you, Anita madam. Thank you very much. Very nice topic and really very good inputs from the same.
Close to everybody's heart. Yes.
Pallavi, you can stop the recording, I think. Na?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yeah, ma'am.
Good night, everybody.
Yes, madam.
Thank you for logging in.